What is up, flick fans? We're always looking for something to watch on Netflix. In today's video, I'm giving you 5 movies that I believe are worth your time, as well as some films that are leaving the platform at the beginning of next month. Let's start with those. By the way, if you guys enjoy these kinds of videos, let me know by dropping that like down below and leave a comment. Is there a movie on Netflix that's worth watching? I think that'll be very helpful to a lot of people. And these are the movies. You only have a couple weeks left to watch. Kicking and Screaming. Look, it's not great, but it's a fun film, as well as Beverly Hills Ninja. Love me some Chris Farley. Liar, Liar, one of the best Jim Carrey movies in my opinion. Pineapple Express, a stoner comedic classic. The Spider-Man trilogy, as well as the Amazing Spider-Man movies, they're all leaving, so check them out if you don't have Disney+. The Blind Side? Yeah, some true things going on that tainted that story, but the movie itself is good. The Edge of 17, we actually talked about this in last month's video. It's finally leaving the platform. The Equalizer, Denzel Washington action movie, leaving the platform soon. The Lego Batman movie, really funny, a great animated film. The Nutty Professor, Eddie Murphy, a classic. And on the 20th, Bodies, 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 the A24 film, that is leaving Netflix. Now, there are 2 more movies leaving that are a part of my 5 that I want to talk about. The first one leaving the platform on September 1st is The Gift. The Gift was one of my biggest surprises of that year. Joel Edgerton, and just a really cool concept.
This is a mid-century modern home. This view is fantastic. The lighting is great.
You like it?
Yeah, do you?
Edgerton stars in it and directs it. Jason Bateman and Rebecca Hall are our 2 characters. They run into their old classmate, but things take a turn when he begins to drop in unannounced, leaving these gifts. But there's a secret between Edgerton and Bateman's character that leads us to a really interesting psychological thriller of sorts. I mean, you watch this trailer, you think you're in for some kind of horror movie, and you get horror elements, but it's not really that. It's more of you're on the edge of your seat because you don't know what these gifts mean, what's happening between these 2 characters, what that history is between them, and you don't really know what's going to happen next. And I love when a movie makes you feel that way, makes you feel on edge, like you don't know what's coming next. So if you like a good thriller, one that keeps you on edge, and you're a fan of these performers, I think you're really going to like The Gift. It takes some crazy turns, but I thoroughly enjoyed the experience. It's a very different movie on Netflix from 2015? 2015. Nailed it.
Correct!
Next week, I start 5th grade. And since I've never been to real school before, I'm pretty much totally petrified.
Now, the other movie I'm talking about that leaves Netflix on the 8th of September, so you have a little longer to watch it. But if you've never seen this movie, if you're a fan of this channel, I've talked about it several times. It's called Wonder. And Jacob Tremblay gives one of the most there you go, full performances of that year. It's a genuinely heartwarming, moving, emotional film starring Tremblay and Owen Wilson and, well, Julia Roberts, who is amazing as our mom here, and Mandy Patinkin, who plays I believe he was the principal. His performance is so moving. The best principal of all time, just wonderful. Noah Jupe is in the film as well, and it's all about this young boy who is, trying to make his way through 5th grade, but he has facial differences compared to his other students, and of course, in the 5th grade, you're going to have kids who make fun of him, kids who bully him, but those who stand with him as well, and my God, man, I'll be honest with you, I cried in the theater while watching this, not because I was sad, but because I was happy. It was a happy cry. So if you love these charming family film type heartwarming stories, something that will lift you up, occasionally bring you down, but ultimately lift you up, I say please watch this movie. It's for everyone, not just families. One of my favorites of that year and of that decade.
I am a corporate defense attorney.
So?
I defend chemical companies.
Well, now you can defend me.
Next up, we've got a docudrama, a legal drama of sorts, so something based on a true story, which I guess Wonder was as well, but going down a very different path. This kind of has the flair of a Fincher film, if you like those types of movies, but Mark Ruffalo is our star. Todd Haynes is our director, who just had made December, and this defense attorney takes on an environmental lawsuit against a chemical company that exposes a lengthy history of pollution. And so if you're interested in a movie that is all about this one man's attempt at exposing the truth, makes you think of a film like Spotlight, just going about it in a very different way. But really, a lot of this rides on the shoulders of Mark Ruffalo, who gives one of the best performances of his career. But really, you're in the shoes of our character trying to bring these things to light and the struggle that it takes to get to that point. Not everyone's going to be up for a movie like this that may take a little more out of you than something like Wonder, but if you have the time and you have the patience, I suggest Dark Waters, one of the better films of that year, but one of the ones from 2019 that's not really talked about that much, even with Haynes as a director.
I just don't want to find myself at 50 in some block association meeting trying to prevent the opening of a new bar.
Obviously, every movie I'm talking about is not going to be in every country, but for our international audience, here's a Netflix original film, one that I believe should be in the discussion when people say, we don't get good Netflix original movies. Well, you've got your Irishmans and you've got your really obvious ones to prove that wrong. But then there's this little film called Private Life, starring Kathryn Hahn and Paul Giamatti, that ended up being one of the more moving movies of that year, and one that really hits the heartstrings in an interesting way, as well as two of the best performances from 2018. I kid you not, Giamatti, he got his for Holdovers last year. He should have gotten one for this, as well as Kathryn Hahn.
Son of a bitch!
And you have this author who is undergoing multiple fertility therapies to try and get pregnant, but this is putting a strain on her marriage with her husband. And then their doctor suggests a third party coming in and that helping with the reproduction process. And thus Sadie enters their lives and things begin to change, whether it be mentalities or just the conversation between the two, how their relationship is molding throughout this movie. This is kind of exactly what you expect it to be. Not the most thrilling or exciting recommendation I could give you, but a dramatic movie with a nice sense of humor. This is actually kind of a quirky and comedic look at a situation that seems more serious from the outside looking in, but the direction here handles it in a fun-ish way that allows you to look at this and these people and how they are changing and the decisions that they are making in a way that will make you giggle throughout the movie. No belly laughs, right? It's not the craziest comedy of all time, but Private Life is just one of those genuine dramatic comedies, if you will, that looks at life in a certain way and really captures those emotions. So again, with an emotional recommendation, but I would recommend Private Life.
This guy comes to town every Tuesday. Are you free Tuesday?
Yeah, I'm free Tuesday.
And finally, a Luc Besson film, the ultimate Luc Besson film. It is Leon, or The Professional, or Leon the Professional, a movie about a hitman, but it's not like Michael Fassbender's Hitman, kids. This is one that you got to go a little bit back in time to 1994, so not too far back. This film is gripping, on the edge of your seat from start to finish, featuring some of the best performances of that year, as well as one of the more compelling hitman assassin type movies that you will ever see. And I mean ever. Of course, our main character in Leon, but some notable supporting actors like Gary Oldman and a young Natalie Portman that plays an integral role in this man's life. Because after this young character's family is murdered, she's actually taken in by Leon. Thus, his life changes, her life changes, and she's actually kind of learning how he does what he does and takes aim at the people who took her family from her. So it is, in its own way, a beautiful action-centric crime drama, but also emotional and looking at these things in the most naturalistic way possible. A very grounded movie that takes a couple of leaps here and there, but ultimately roots itself in reality, and it takes you on this journey with these two characters and their relationship, their dynamic is just, it's awesome, man. One of the most compelling movies I've seen in a long time. Rewatching this was awesome. I did it for this video, thank God, and I was captivated. I mean, gripping my seat the entire time, man. The action's spot on, the cinematography's perfect, and just the way we get to our resolution is awesome.
It was perfect.
So if you like all the genres that I just mentioned and you're looking for something action-packed but that has a little bit of heart in there, this is the perfect film that I implore all of you to watch. It's a classic. It's absolutely a classic. It's a classic worth your time.
Perfect.
And I'm so glad I went back and revisited this because, hey, it may just make one of my big lists one of these days when I do that. So thank you all so much for watching. Hey, if you enjoy these videos, I would appreciate you subscribing, dropping that like, because I want to do more if you all want to see it. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon.